Well, South Africa has stooped to another new low. They are definitely going to go full-blown communist soon. They are the most racist, anti-white government on the planet, and they don't hide it. Now, I'm going to read to you a breakdown of a recorded conversation between an EFF member and a prison gang member in South Africa on what they're going to do to whites soon. Now, a brief overview. Julius Malema is the leader of the EFF, a completely maniacal communist political party who is pushing for the takeover of all white-owned land and property, including cars and vehicles, without any compensation whatsoever, and even the bank loans that whites have on the land or anything else, he said, must be taken care of by the whites after their land is taken from them without compensation. Yeah, you don't hear too much about it. Now, this is what they're doing all over the world. The whites are 8% of the world population. Half of them are brain dead and completely brainwashed. Okay? 8%, yet nowhere else in the world are blacks and browns flooded into but white nations. You all know who's behind this, but why is this being allowed? And look at South Africa. Whites are a minority there. They are less than 10% of the population. They have to endure all kinds of violence against them, close to 100,000 racial murders since the end of apartheid. It has become the murder and rape capital of the world, after it was once one of the safest nations in the world under apartheid rule. Now, apartheid wasn't what everybody says, but this isn't what this video is about. This is about this conversation now to show exactly what these people are trying to do, and they're not hiding it. Now, Julius Malema, leader of the political party EFF, essentially contracted a convicted murderer of white farmers who was released after serving a 20-year sentence to commit more murder on behalf of the EFF. So this guy was in prison for 20 years for murder of white farmers. 20 years. Wow. That's it? This convict, the general of a notorious prison gang called the 28s. Okay? That's what he was. He was the general of a prison gang called the 28s. Members of the EFF had a conversation with this guy and told him to contact Malema, the guy from Limpopo, who wanted to set up a golden team of gang members specifically to kill white farmers. They would be provided with a balaclava, that's a mask to hide their dirty deeds, guns, and cash. All courtesy of the EFF. Malema was invited to answer to these charges. The EFF political party responded by saying Malema was unavailable for a response. So he's not even denying it, but it's real. This is what's in store for white people across the world. They can do this to South Africa, and yet you hear nothing about it by the U.S. government. Donald Trump owns gold and silver interests in South Africa. I wonder if they're going to take away his holdings there. Why isn't he saying anything about it? Okay, there's already discriminatory laws against whites, and they're at the brunt of racial violence constantly. Being a white South African farmer is the most dangerous profession in the world by far of anybody. Zimbabwe did the same thing to white farmers, and they starved. Now they're inviting them back in. How long will the world tolerate this racist, incredible, homicidal rhetoric and actions by these blacks? It's political correctness gone mad, and it's happening here even in the U.S. They cover up all the black on white violence. Like 95% of all interracial crime is black on white. Yet it's all about white patriarchy, white superiority. I don't see any. It's crazy, people. You got to start being an activist about this. You got to talk to your elected officials, from mayors, congressmen, senators. You got to tell them about this and ask them why. Why don't they address this? If they care about justice and peace and equality, then why don't they say something about this? Put sanctions on the South African government. Something has to be done because this is the fate of all white people all across the world. It's also part of Agenda 21 to take away land from everybody and to push them into the crime-ridden, disgusting cities filled with wonderful diversity.